Welcome everybody to another video here on the Midnight Mike Show YouTube page with the new Child's Play movie coming out, the remake of Child's Play coming out with Aubrey Plaza. I figured it'd be a good time to give you my ranking of the Child's Play movies, worst to best. Child's Play, Chucky movies, whatever you want to call them, worst to best. Now, if you like what you hear, if you dislike what you hear, if you want to hate on me, if you want to love what I have to say, if you want to comment, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell because sometimes the subscribe button just doesn't work. I'm not the, like I said in a previous video, I'm not the type of person who's ever going to block somebody for a dissenting opinion. I thrive off people hating what I have to say. So if you don't like what I have to say, talk to me in the comments section. Give me your rankings of the Child's Play movies, worst to best. But let's get into this, all right? By far the worst Child's Play movie, worst Child's Play movies right here. Seed of Chucky. Now, I've heard people say that they like this film on certain Facebook groups and whatnot. I just don't get it. I think that maybe if you grew up where your first Child's Play experience was with Bride of Chucky or Seed of Chucky in the 90s, I can see where maybe this movie would be one that you'd appreciate a little bit more. But if you grew up like me in the 80s and you grew up with the original trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, I don't see how you can like this movie. Bride of Chucky, basically, the problems with Bride of Chucky and this are that Chucky becomes the main character. Instead of Andy Barclay being the main character, or later in Curse and Cult, Fiona Dourif, I forget what her character name is, Chucky becomes the main character. And part of horror is the mystery of when the killer's going to show up, where he's going to be. And in these movies, you're just following him around. He's the main character, and he's cutting way too many jokes. In Bride, I think some of it works. In Seed, it doesn't work. And the kid, the little green doll kid, is unbearable. I can't stand it. This movie sucks. The next one on my list, I don't have a copy of. It came out on Netflix, so I'll pop a picture right here. And it's Cult of Chucky. Just like Seed of Chucky did from Bride, I feel like the first three can be mushed together. Bride and Seed can be mushed together, and Curse and Cult can be mushed together. They all kind of stick together. So Seed of Chucky was definitely a step down from Bride of Chucky, just like I think Cult of Chucky was a step down from Curse of Chucky. Now, spoilers here. I really feel there's no spoilers after a certain amount of time, but in Cult, in the end, when you get to see the return of Emily Valentine from Child's Play 2, now I know that's her 90210 name, but when you get to see Kyle, that's it. When you see Kyle, that was a huge pop on my part. But other than that, Cult of Chucky was good. I like the idea of him being able to go into different dolls. I just don't think it was as good as Curse was. So that would have been my next one. Next on the list, Bride of Chucky. Once again, like I said with Seed, Chucky becomes the main character with Tiffany, and it becomes more just a story of walking around with the doll, cutting jokes, things are funny, let's have a good time. Now, Ronnie Yu directed this. He also directed Freddy vs. Jason, and he has a very specific style. He likes to use hard rock music, which I enjoy. He has some good effects, some good gore, and has fun with it. You could tell this movie was fun to make. But I don't like Chucky being the main character. The whole family thing, you know, okay, what are you going to do? It's not a bad movie. I do enjoy it, but it can't be as high as the rest of them. So Bride of Chucky's my next one. All right, now we're getting into the top four. The top four Child's Play / Chucky movies, and my number 4 is Curse of Chucky. I loved this movie because I was so afraid that they were going to continue to go the route of Bride and Seed. This one started taking it seriously again. Fiona Dourif, I believe her name is. Is that right? It's Brad Dourif's daughter. Fiona Dourif, correct. Does great in this film, and I love the tie-ins to the original film. The Andy Barclay showing up at the end, huge pop. That was amazing. But the tie-ins, I know they couldn't make Brad Dourif look like he did in the first movie, so you can kind of tell it's a makeup job to make him look younger, but all the throwbacks and flashbacks that tie into the toy store from the first film, this movie, in my opinion, was a love letter to Chucky fans and a sigh of relief, in my opinion, for me, who's a fan of the original trilogy. But also, it does tie in Jennifer Tilly and her storylines in Bride and Seed when he pulls off the plastic to reveal the scars. I mean, come on. If you don't like this movie, I don't know what to tell you. I thought it was a love letter to the fans and a great installment. Just sits there, I think can sit there with the original trilogy. So now we get to the original trilogy because those are the only three left. These are my top three. And at number three, obviously, how simple is that? Child's Play 3. A lot of people hate on this movie. I don't know why. I have a nostalgia love for it. I also went to military school. So the military school thing doesn't bother me. I thought Tyler did a good job. Justin Whalen, he did okay as Andy Barclay. I would have rather them wait a few years and just had Andy Barclay play the character, because obviously this military school allowed in children because Tyler was a child. So why not just wait a few years, guys? Wait a few years and have Alex Vincent come back to portray Andy Barclay. I don't know why they didn't, but still a great film. A lot of good kills, a lot of fun in the movie. But of the original trilogy, it still is probably the worst, but in my opinion, the third best Child's Play movie. Now, we're getting to the top two. This is always a debate between Child's Play fans. What's better, the original or the amazing Child's Play 2, which is one of the best sequels ever released? In my opinion, number 2 goes to Child's Play 2. The first one is the original. And I'll talk about it when we get to it. It explains so much, and it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. It lets you know what's going on. But with Child's Play 2, this is one of the only sequels that holds up. Halloween 2, Empire Strikes Back. There's some sequels out there that are as good to watch as the original, and this is one of them. Although there's a lot of questions, and at the beginning of the film, why does he have electrical powers? Why are they rebuilding the doll? What's the point of that? Who cares? It's a great movie, and I'd say it has the best scene in Child's Play history and everyone hopefully will know what I'm talking about, in the good guy factory. The factory that creates the dolls is one of the best scenes. It's intense. It's when he's coming up that rolling ramp. I mean, the suspense is great in that scene. And but other than that, I do think the first is better, but this probably has the best overall scene in Child's Play history in the good guy factory. Child's Play 2. Obviously, we're down to it. The number 1 Child's Play movie of all time, the original Child's Play. You can't go wrong with this film. Like I said, they explain everything to you. It's a ridiculous concept that voodoo is going to be able to put a human into a doll, but they explain it. They explain it well. Later on in the movie, when you get to the scene with the voodoo master, the voodoo doctor, the witch doctor, whatever, and Chucky's breaking his legs with the voodoo doll, that's probably the second best scene, in my opinion, in Child's Play history. And in that scene, not only is it already explained, but it is explained more how he gets out of the doll, how he'll turn human in the doll. All this stuff is explained to you, and you have to take it at face value. It's a horror movie, but at least there's not questions. What? How is this possible? How is that possible? None of it's possible. But they do explain in this movie world, in this movie universe, how it's possible, and I think that they did a great job. Plus the cast, Chris Sarandon, I love him. He's in one of my favorite horror movies of all time, which is Child's Play and Fright Night. Catherine Hicks from Seventh Heaven's in it, and Alex Vincent, of course. Andy Barclay, awesome. And in all the movies, Brad Dourif as Chucky, outstanding. Well, that's it. I mean, hey, if you disagree with me, give me your list down in the comments section. I'd really appreciate that. I want to get in debates. I want to get in fights. I want people to tell me my list is absolutely crazy. Or if you agree, awesome. But do me a favor, you gotta subscribe, you gotta hit the notification bell. That really helps us out. And if you want to, we've reviewed these movies all on The Midnight Jury, which of course is the show that I'm known for. 6.5 years going strong. WLWstudios.com or The Midnight Jury feeds on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio. If you go to WLWstudios.com, go into the search, type in Child's Play, and you'll get our reviews of Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. We have not gotten to Bride yet, but that's coming up in the future. That's it. Please go over, support our Patreon page, patreon.com/midnightjury. I'll put a link of that in the description. If you go there for as little as $3 a month, you're going to get the full episodes of the Midnight Mike Show, where you can listen to me review DVD commentary style and watch along with me on films. We've done Halloween, the original Halloween. We've done Wizard of Oz. We did 2 shorts that are available on YouTube, and we're planning on doing the remake of Stephen King's It. I plan on doing that with my co-host of the Midnight Jury, Calvin Brody. So go over to patreon.com/midnightjury. $3 a month really helps out. But if you can't do that, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. I am your 21st Century Broadcasting Marvel Midnight Mike Noringauer, and I can't wait to see you next time.